Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Just wanted to get on and talk really quickly about this. I saw a post in a group that I'm in, and it read something along the lines of, "My boyfriend won't kiss me or do foreplay. What do I do?" And, my heart breaks when I read things like this. And I talked in a live on another platform earlier, talking about all the different things that could contribute to this without knowing any other information, because that's all they shared on their original post. And I went looking for it again and I couldn't find it. So I don't know. They might have just removed it. I don't know what kind of responses they got. But the first response that I saw underneath their post was, just leave them, right? And I mean, I understand to a certain extent. However, we don't know their ages either, right? So we don't know if this is a brand new relationship. We don't know their ages and the experience level, because I feel like, and they talked about this a little bit on the episode of Diary of a CEO, when he interviewed a bunch of people about adult content and the ramifications that it's having on young people and dating. And so I touched briefly on that in my other live. So I wanted to get on and just kind of share my thoughts on this, that this could be something that we'll see more and more of if we don't recognize the fact that younger and younger people are engaging with a form of content that sometimes is not based in reality. And the algorithms are such that they keep making it more and more extreme. And so, I'm not going to, be like all anti whatever, because I do recognize that there are some benefits to be had from engaging with this type of content as an adult, in a very intentional way, and, taking out the parts of the ethical, equation and whatnot. But just, we need to reckon with the fact that so many young people are forming ideas about their sexuality and how to engage with their bodies in ways that might not be safe, for one, but also might not be the path to connection that they're seeking. So if we assume that maybe the poster of the post that I referred to is maybe really young, then maybe their partner is just really inexperienced, and there's a real lack of, really good sex ed, around the world. But, I'm in North America and I know what's being taught. And here in Nova Scotia, there is a lot of really positive things to say about the, the information that's being given. And keep in mind that I was working in junior high. So, the information that's given is, age appropriate and whatnot. But I think at a certain age, we really need to start talking about and making available really good sources of reputable and educational type of content to young adults, right? To, people who are engaging in these kinds of relationships, because if we don't, the vacuum is filled, right? And we know what it's filled with, and it's filled with something that becomes less and less about having a beautiful connection and sharing energy and, it being gratifying. It should be gratifying and satisfying to both people, or all the people involved, right? And so some of it could be that, and some of it could be this, this uprising of the bro sphere kind of stuff of it's all about my pleasure and whatnot. So there could be some of that, and some narcissism at play. There's so many different things that it could be. But we need to have conversations around this, because I hope that she wasn't shamed or made to feel like the only answer is to leave, because without knowing more information, I think that that's a really easy thing to jump to and to just be like, very dismissive, but we don't know all the details. And the reality is that there are a lot of people in relationships where maybe they, for whatever reasons, find themselves in this situation where their needs aren't getting met, and they don't feel like they have a way to talk about it. And maybe they don't necessarily feel like they can. And that's what I felt from that post, was like, why are you posting this in a group? Like, I get it. I get why you're posting it, but why aren't you talking to him about this? And, if you are, what kind of responses are you getting? Because I do understand that there are some people who don't like kissing, right? And maybe that's just not something that turns them on. And it might be frustrating if you were to sort of ask your partner, why don't you ever kiss me? And if they were to say, well, I don't really enjoy kissing. If kissing is really important to you and is part of what turns you on, then that could be a hurdle that you'll have to try to figure out a way to get over together, because both needs need to get met. However, at the same time, if this is sort of a pervasive thing in your relationship and not just in the bedroom, then you need to question whether this person is the right person for you to be with, right? So, a lot of people I've had people come to, work with me in sessions, and, there's been, things that are going on in their sex lives or whatever with their partners, and they're coming to try to figure out next steps and where do we go from here. And, and some of it is work that they can do on maybe what's holding them back from exploring things, or what's holding them back from getting what they need, whether it's from that person or someone else, right? So some of that is work that we can do individually. But if you find yourself with a person who, despite you, voicing your desires and needs and wants, are not, doing any kind of work to meet those needs, then then it's time to question whether you stay in a relationship with them, because long term, unmet needs often lead to resentment, right? So I hope this helps in some way. If it resonates with you at all, feel free to reach out. You can private message me. I do see clients one-on-one, so if you need some help figuring out next steps or where to go, or what to do with your relationship if things aren't going the way you hoped and need and want and dreamed of or whatever, please feel free to reach out to me. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day. Namaste.